6:30, so we'll go ahead and get started if everybody would stand for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Nicole and Nick both are out on family emergencies tonight, so they will not be joining us. So with that said, move down to the agenda. Do I hear in a motion to approve the agenda as written?
I move that we approve the agenda as written.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. None heard. All in favor of approving the agenda for tonight's meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. That passes. Okay. Dan, do we have any agenda items for the public comments?
Yes.
You pull that.
Some are regarding the levy resolution that's later in the
I
agenda.
don't have the
but
agenda.
There's
Okay.
Is it in the
at least
mail?
one other one.
Go to the strip website.
I thought I saw that. Just finding the agenda, they moved it. Really?
So board, we have committee member Allison McRae, who would like to address the board.
Okay.
Great.
Go ahead and step up. Good evening.
Hi. So actually, I'm hoping to set up a meeting with the superintendent.
Okay.
I have a daughter that attends Hawkins Middle School.
Okay.
Over the course of the year, starting on the second day of school, she was talking to me about how she was getting unwanted attention by one of the classmates. It escalated to the point where my daughter no longer felt safe going to school anymore, and she is currently being homeschooled.
Okay.
I don't want to provide
Yeah.
too many details in the public, but I would like the opportunity to see if a better resolution can be found than her being homeschooled, because she does need the socialization due to her IEP that she's on.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
for sharing that.
definitely, Christine, will reach out to you. Did you put your information in the
My phone number.
my phone? Okay, perfect. Christine will definitely reach out to you and set that up and have a discussion. I have a daughter that just finished Hawkins, and I have another daughter starting this year, so it is very, very important. I think all of us have
Yeah, I
had
have a
kids
son there, or
going through there,
left
so
there.
absolutely important to us. So.
I moved up here, and my youngest boy started and completed, and he's now 25. So
Okay.
I've had kids successfully go through
Okay.
before, so.
Good. Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
Well,
sharing.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that all on the?
Yes, sir, I believe the rest are here to speak on the behalf of the levy resolution.
No, I have,
Oh,
Don.
sorry.
Step up, Mr. Don.
it's okay. I can handle rejection. I didn't get a chance to do this for Dana because I didn't know her last when she started, but I'm gonna do it for a fellow Buckeye. Some positive thinking things to start the year off with. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. The dream begins most of the time with a teacher who believes in you, who tugs and pushes and leads you on to the next plateau, sometimes poking you with a sharp stick called the truth. That was from Dan Rather. This is from Mother Teresa. I know God never gives me anything I can't handle. I just wish he didn't trust me so much. And success is not how high you have climbed, but how you have made a positive difference in the world.
Very good. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Anything else, Dan? Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as written?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
All right, any discussion? Okay, none heard. All in favor of approving the consent agenda as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. That passes. All right. I am going to, as we are only 6 minutes in, I don't think we need our 5-minute recess, I would suppose. All right, so on to the board link development and linkage. So, for the first time, the floor is yours, Christine.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm really honored to be here, joining the North Mason community at my first board meeting. We moved here about the middle of June, and I've really enjoyed everybody that I've had the opportunity to meet. I've been spending a great deal of time trying to reach out to key community members, and I have a very long list, so I still have a ways to go, but the community has been very welcoming, very open to providing feedback about the schools, the things that they're proud of, and the opportunities that they see for improvement. And this is one of those weird transition months during the month of July, so the INS reports are in the board packet and for your approval, but I think that it would be appropriate for you to take a look at the ones that I shared, but then also allow me to provide an update in the middle of the year when it reflects the work that I've been doing with the directors, administrators, and teachers versus our former superintendent. I have no reason to think that they're not accurate, but I haven't had an opportunity to meet with all my administrators to go over that information. Today was the first day that all the cabinet members were present in the campus at the same time since I started July 1st, and so we do not have a formal presentation this evening for you, but I would want to say that I'm thrilled to be here, and I definitely will reach out to the parent who came to us. I'll give her a call in the morning and welcome feedback from any community member or any parent who'd like to provide feedback. A lot of people have opinions about school because all of us went to school, and I'm more than happy to listen. So,
Very good.
thank you very much.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Dan, the floor is yours.
Okay.
We always look forward to this part.
Okay, well, thank you, Board. And I just want to say at the beginning here that you may have seen that the Board budget status reports look a little different this month. And the reason is, as we previously stated, that we're cutting costs due to the levy failure in February. And one of those cuts has to do with a subscription that we have been using to do our budget status reports. It's called Frontline Analytics, previously known as Forecast 5. The information that Forecast 5 that I upload into Forecast 5 to create those beautiful graphics and all of that information that I typically present is from our Skyward budget status report. So all the data is data that we have. All the figures are figures that we have. I'm working on developing and creating my own tool that will provide that information presented in a more visual manner, and going forward, you will see that. So what I have here today is the general fund budget status report, and that will follow with the other funds budget status report. So I want to at least give the big picture for the general fund so that everyone can understand where we are today. Well, through June 30th. So this information is almost a month old. We just did our July payroll. We still have our July accounts payable though, so I don't have accurate July data. So I'll present that at the next board meeting. So through June 30th of 2025 is what we're looking at. For the year in the general fund, we have budgeted $44,019,842. For revenues, we budgeted $44,524,307 in expenditures. And our beginning fund balance at the beginning of the fiscal year that began on September 1st of 2024 was $2,705,032. And we had anticipated a decline in our fund balance. That was in the budget that we presented and approved last August. We budgeted that we would end this fiscal year $2,204,491,000 as a year-end fund balance. You can see in the table there our year-to-date revenues month by month from September through June. Our revenues, our expenditures, and our fund balance, and you can see those changes. Our month-end fund balance at the end of June was $980,398. And a month ago at our board meeting, our projection was that our fund balance would be $228,265. So we did do a transfer, if you remember, through a resolution to transfer $185,000 from the capital fund to the general fund. But if you take that $185,000 that we borrowed from the capital projects fund, which we're going to pay back next week, or actually Wednesday, we're going to return that money back to the capital projects. We're still at about $795,000 in our general fund balance. So that's a lot better than how it looked a month ago. Now, also knowing that in June we get a very small apportionment, and it was actually reduced by about $115,000. OSPI held back some of our June apportionment, and June is already a lower apportionment. So even despite the fact that we didn't get the full June apportionment, we still had made better gains in our fund balance than we had anticipated. The good news is our July apportionment that we received 2 days ago is $4.8 million. And that's by far the largest apportionment we received all year. So we should see some movement in the right direction with our fund balance next month. And then in August, we get a 10% apportionment. But also, I want to just mention that we are still accruing revenues until we're finished with the year end in November. And so we really won't know what our year-end fund balance truly is for this fiscal year that's soon to end until November. So I see us coming in right around where we budgeted, or maybe just a little bit more. So that's where I believe we're going to end up.
Good.
Are there any questions about the general fund?
There's some public comment, looks like, some questions from the audience? No?
Dawn.
Okay, so let's look at the next page, and this is what we see every month, presented in the same way. Chris, if you can go to the next page. Oop, is there a slide down? There we go. Excellent. So these are the fund balances of our 4 other funds. So our capital projects fund ended June with $26,614. That's right where I planned it to be, because we borrowed $185,000 out of that fund. If that $185,000 were included, it would show $211,614. And that money is going right back in there in a couple days. The debt service fund ended with a fund balance of $2,921,064. The ASB fund ended with $375,025. And our transportation vehicle fund has $189,808. We still haven't received that new bus, so we haven't been invoiced yet, but we are expecting that bus pretty soon. So that money really is spent, but it's there until we receive the invoice for the new special education bus. We don't see the enrollment or the attendance report here because we had our June last attendance reported at the last board meeting.
Right.
So there's been no changes.
I have a question. Has there been kind of any indication from OSPI about whether apportionment next
school year will be a little bit more evened out, or, you know, or is this the new normal where they're giving us our apportionment haphazardly?
I haven't heard of any changes for this coming fiscal year. We almost had changes where they were gonna even put more into the July and August months, but that
Right.
didn't get approved, thankfully. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a good question. I would love to see, an even, 1/12 each month, but I
Yeah.
haven't heard any talk about that, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, very good, Dan. I like the new format.
I do too.
I like
Well,
it.
I would like to give a little bit more detail, and we'll be working on that,
Yeah.
and we'll,
No,
and what I share with you next time could be kind of a beta test, and we can get some feedback and see if
Yeah,
it's gonna
that's
be
perfect.
acceptable or not.
no, I just love the out-of-the-box thinking, man. It's like coming up and cutting something that, has a nice, pretty, graphs and stuff, but coming up with what you got is just, this is great. So,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And when you started, we already had forecast 5.
That's right.
Yeah, so you've
Yes.
been,
And I would like to say, it's a great tool. They're really a great company, and they have a lot of great resources. For us, though, what we're looking at is about a little over 21,000, maybe with taxes, $22,000 for the year. And it's information that we already have. And so we're gonna use our own resources to create a platform or some kind of a dashboard that we can use at no extra cost.
Yeah.
I
that's
love that.
perfect. Love it.
Awesome.
Very good. Well, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
So moving on, we have the levy presentation. Do we want to go through that? Yeah, that's the section we're at right now.
So I'm gonna invite some of our partners. So we've convened a levy committee, and we've met 4 or 5 times, 4 times, thank you. And we have drafted a proposal into a resolution. And our levy committee, some of our members would like to share their thoughts about this levy proposal that we're putting in front of the board tonight.
Very good.
And I just want to also say, I encourage them to speak from the heart and not really come with something written and prepared, because we really feel it's important to speak for the heart, because this really is something that's really important to us individually in different ways.
I'm Kim Wilson. I'm a citizen of Belfair. I don't have any children in the North Mason School District. I do have grandchildren in the North Mason School District. I do volunteer at the school on a weekly basis. But in regards to the levy, some of the major topics we talked about is how much do we want to ask for and how often do we want to ask for it. And I feel that it's important to go for the same amount that we went for last year, because we have more cost now that the gym roof is an issue. And I think it will help budget better if you know what you're getting over a 4-year span. I also think that going back and asking the taxpayers, to do this over and over and over again it's just too much. Personally, as a taxpayer, ask me once and I'll say yes. Don't ask me every other year. So, in my opinion, I think let's go for the full amount for 4 years and leave it at that. If we have to go and ask for a bond for building, if we have to do that in 2 years and ask for a levy in 2 years, it's one or the other. You're not going to get both. So I think it's important to ask for it now for the full 4 years. So that's my personal opinion.
Very good. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angela Corwin, and I have had 2 kids that have graduated from North Mason, and I have 2 kids that are going through North Mason. One that's in Belfair Elementary and one that's in Hawkins Elementary. She's going to be, or Hawkins Middle School, sorry. She's going to be starting this year. So I have gone through and been to every single one of the meetings, and I feel that with the 4-year ask, that it is going to be beneficial, because if we can get this in the 4 years, if we ask for a bond in a couple of years, 1 year, 2 years, then that bond for building, that's gonna alleviate a lot of stress that we all know in Belfair, and that's gonna be the traffic. And that traffic is horrible. I deal with it day in and day out. I don't get to take the back roads all the time. And on top of that, it's just gonna be nicer to make sure that the kids get everything that they need to have. It's important. I have one that graduated 2 years ago. He went through band. He excelled at it. And that brought his personality out, and it exceeded everything that possibly could be. He was also an athlete in the school, and it was wonderful. So we can't take those things away. We need to give them back to the kids, and that's important, because music, arts, and athletics are the one things that are going to make those kids shine, and it's going to bring out their personalities, and they're going to have a wonderful time in school, and it's going to build their personalities. So that's why I think that we need to definitely do the same amount, 4 years. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I worked on it today, but I wrote it down. So I agree with the 4 years and not asking over and over again. And so, if you don't mind, I'm gonna read it. Sorry, guys.
Will you introduce yourself just so
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
in the audience can?
Totally first time, sorry. I'm Carrie Bell. I have 3 kids in North Mason School District, one at Sand Hill, one going into Hawkins, and one at the high school. So I deal with all of you. So, okay, I wrote this down and I was like, well, the levy is not about adding luxuries. It's about preserving what already works, the essential programs and staff that help our students succeed every single day. It helps fund elementary music, PE, and art, secondary programs like theater, band, and choir, nurses, counselors, librarians, special education, AP, and elective classes, safety services, and transportation. These are core parts of a safe, equitable, and well-rounded education. As a parent, I've seen how programs like theater change lives. My daughter has gained confidence, responsibility, and a deep sense of connection through that opportunity. But I'm not speaking just for her. I'm speaking for every student in every school. Kids who rely on school not just for academics, but safety, stability, belonging, and growth. The proposed levy would collect the 5.5, you know the numbers, at a rate of $132 per thousand of assessed value, still lower than rates from just a few years ago, and well within reason for the services it supports. These are dollars that stay in our district and directly impact our classrooms. We already ask our teachers and schools to do more with less. This levy is how we, as a community, say, we're with you. We want to maintain equality education for all students. I respectfully ask that you vote to approve this levy proposal tonight and allow the people of North Mason to decide in November whether to invest in their children's future. And please, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You said from the heart.
You can read too.
Huh?
Feel free to read it.
No, I'm not gonna read it. As a former school board member, having played this game with levies and bond issues, I understand the whole system. Sandy and I were not blessed with kids, so I've been supporting this district since 10th of July, 1973, my first day in private practice. I can speak from my own experience about extracurriculars that may not be available for the kids. I was in a college prep program in Cincinnati, and I was pulling B's and C's, and my mother was really upset with me. And my best friend talked me into running cross country. I did not know at the time, I know now that I'm ADHD. My grades went from B's and C's to A's, just like that. And I would never have gotten to dental school with the grades I was getting, but because of cross country and because it solved my ADHD problem, I ended up getting through dental school at the College of Dentistry at The Ohio State University. These are not wants. The things that are on the levy are not wants, they're needs. The things that, yeah, we'll do without them if we don't pass the levy, but it's gonna be much more difficult for the staff, the kids, parents, everybody. It's gonna make it that much more difficult, so we don't wanna lose band, music, arts, cross-country, things like that. Those are the sports that don't bring any money in, generally. Football's about the only one here that does bring money in. So, let's go for it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Don.
you, Dawn.
Thank you, committee members.
So the resolution 20-G-25 details the levy proposal that we would like to, if approved tonight, to submit to the county by August 5th for a November 4th election during the general election. It is requesting a collection in 2026 of $5,577,446, the same amount in 2027, 2028, and 2029. The total amount for those 4 years is $22,309,784. The taxes levied would stay in district, and the tax rate for the first year would be $1.28 per thousand of assessed valuation for a personal property. It has gone down since the assessed valuation in our district of the total amount of properties has increased. The assessed value predicted to increase each year would bring that rate down. So the first each year, so the first year in 2026 would be again $1.28. More precisely, 1.2833. In 2027, it would be 1.2462. In 2028, 1.2101, and in 2029, 1.1750. That's when we factor in a 3% growth rate in our total assessed value of properties in North Mason. Of course, it's not a perfect science. There could be higher growth, there could be stagnant growth. We don't know for sure, but using a 3% is a very, very safe estimate. Those dollars would be used, as our committee members shared, to provide for educational programs and operations to really fill the gap between what we're funded and what our true needs are to meet the needs of our students, to provide them those rich opportunities. I'm happy to take any questions. There's a lot more in the packet. And rather than me reading through all of that, I welcome your questions.
I'm just curious to hear a bit more about the thought process behind the timing and running it in November, and kind of why the committee felt that that was the right time.
So my understanding is that it was the board that decided on November at a previous board meeting after we had the February levy failure. And part of that, if I remember correctly, was to allow us time as a school district to work with our community, to receive feedback, to get
Right.
input, to listen, to find out kind of their reasons why maybe they didn't feel compelled to get behind us with the February levy, and to really use this time to plan well and to make sure that when we go out in November that we can get enough yes votes to pass it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I was part of getting to sit in and listen and record and talk a little bit, maybe more than I should, because I like to talk. But what I saw is the members not only put their thoughts and asked questions. The parking lot was always full. People were always thinking of new things to ask. And it wasn't just coming from their heads, it was coming from the community. So I felt like it was a good representation of people around them. So they brought a voice to the group. And weighing things out together, it was a room of trust and smiles, and we weren't, gnashing teeth or getting crazy or anything. And Kat Ross, she's not here tonight, but she was part of that too. And I know we had some other people in there, but it was, I think that it was thoughtful at what everybody came up with. And so that recommendation is not just a quick thing. It was thought of and voices brought to the meeting, so there was more.
Absolutely, and it was a great opportunity to get some feedback. We did already receive a lot of feedback on how we can communicate better and improve our messaging on how we will use the levy dollars and different kind of campaign strategies. But really, we didn't spend a lot of time putting those into action. That comes after we have a resolution and we have a vote yes committee.
What I will say is I completely agree with everybody that spoke up here. It's always been a proven fact that kids that are involved in extracurricular activities and extra things in school do better in school. That is just a simple fact throughout. And this absolutely enables that. So it's extremely important, I think, not only to the district staff and administration, but it's important to the kids. Like that's the ultimate. This is about giving the kids something they need to succeed. So that's all I'm gonna say. So without anything else, Dan?
That's all I have, unless you have more questions. I'm happy to answer any questions you still have.
Alrighty. Well, I will, you have anything you wanna
No,
add?
you go ahead.
I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 20G25 educational programs and operation levy. Replacement levy programs as written.
I move that we adopt resolution 20G25, replacement educational programs and operations levy as presented.
Alright, any discussion? No, none heard.
May I
All-
interject?
Yep,
I
go ahead.
apologize, Eric. So our legal counsel, Foster Garvey, have encouraged us to, just to make sure we do this correctly, do a roll call vote on this.
Okay,
Thank you for the
Perfect.
reminder.
we can do that. So, if you are, I will call on each member. If you are in favor, signify by saying aye. Arla,
Aye.
Leanna,
Aye.
and I myself. So it passes. So now the hard work begins.
Thank you very much.
Just the beginning.
That's
So,
right,
you.
we have a lot of work.
That's right.
all right.
I'm on it. I'm with
I'm
you.
look forward to further stuff and how
Yeah, I'm
we can
looking
help.
forward to it.
All right, moving on to the assurance of organizational performance and policy review.
Or do we have a legislative?
Oh, wait, did I
Representative
skip
report?
that one? Oh, sorry, Arla.
Isn't it you
Legislative
now?
rep, sorry.
Who, isn't it you now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is me.
I saw that. Was it starting this one or was it?
I was kind of confused about that, but,
I think it's, yeah.
let me see here. I just deleted it.
I know we just,
We just made that switch.
yeah.
There's not really anything happening in the
It
legislature
just
right now,
started
so,
again, like they just opened up and
Yeah,
stuff, so it'll be rolling pretty hot.
we
All
can
right.
skip it.
Hot potatoes.
we will move on now to the monitoring reports. So with that being said, I think we talked about it. I will entertain a motion to find the superintendent in compliance of ER2, organizational continuity.
Scroll down.
And as Christine said, this, I think a few of these have multiple sections where there's a section that was Dana leaving, Dana has her feedback,
I
and then
see.
Christine has her feedback on
Okay.
some of them there too.
Well, I will find the superintendent in compliance with ER2 organizational continuity.
Any discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor of finding the superintendent in compliance signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. All right. Moving on to ER5, responsibility citizens. Do I hear a motion to find the superintendent in compliance of ER5?
Are we doing all of these?
Yeah, there's just 3 of them.
We need to move for each one, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I move that we find the superintendent's performance to comply with E5,
E5, yeah.
Yep, sorry.
responsible citizens.
Okay. Any discussion?
No, I thought there were just lots of good examples in that one, and I appreciated the data, whoever wrote it. So, thank you.
So it was a group effort.
Team effort. Great.
All in favor of finding the superintendent in compliance of E5 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Moving on to E2, student success. I'll entertain a motion to find the superintendent in compliance of E E2.
Just refamiliarizing myself. I'll find the superintendent in compliance with E2 student success.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of finding the superintendent in compliance signify by saying aye.
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 Aye as well. All right, next section is policy review. Do we have any discussion on E1 or E4?
No. On the district mission, this was our, were we going to rewrite this, or this is
Yes, that
going to
is the
be?
plan. That is
redone?
the plan to
I'm excited.
redo that one through a series, I think a series of
Yeah, I think we had it for
interactions.
13
Yeah.
years, 12 years?
12 years.
Yikes.
Yeah, I remember when my first day, and then it was like, it came up on my first day, I think it was, so.
Yes, and that's,
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be really good with Christine coming in and just really all kind of
Making it around.
making it her own here and kind of
Yeah,
updating that, so.
I'm
very-
excited.
Me too.
All right.
But no changes or anything.
No, okay. So moving on to adjournment, is there any public comments not on the agenda, Dan?
Just a big thank you for approving
Oh,
the levy.
very good. Okay. So now we are down to a resolution, 19G25 for new board members.
I didn't see that one. I'm sorry.
I didn't really.
Hang on.
So I'll
Understand that.
entertain a motion to approve resolution 19G25.
The
then-
summary of this is so that our newly running member can attend the conference.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So the election will
For
be
the,
over, but-
the board retreat.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Well,
talking about?
the,
Okay.
for the WASDA.
Conference.
Oh,
WASDA,
WASDA,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that
Oh, okay, I did not
Do
read
you-
that.
they will
just
be
so-
elected by that time, right? They'll be
Yeah.
Yeah.
elected, but they won't be
An official.
sworn
Correct.
in. So
But they
this is
can
the
go.
same, yeah. It's
Yeah.
the same thing we did with Nicole that year
Yeah.
that
Right.
she ran.
Right. Well, I will make a motion to approve resolution number 19G25.
Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor of approving resolution 19G25 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye as well, that passes. All right. Moving over to the good of the order. We will start with you, Christine.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank all the community members and Mr. King for all the work that they have done over the last month to bring that information to the board, and thank the board for voting for that resolution. You know, I was hired at the kind of that transition period where the levy had unfortunately failed, and so I know that there's going to be a lot of work ahead of us to earn the trust of the community and to make sure that we're communicating in a way that is more effective. We'll be putting a lot of opportunities out for people who would be interested in participating in the Vote Yes Committee, because it's going to be an all hands on deck to make sure that we are out there sharing the information and getting the feedback from the community. But I think that if the sign of how many people attended the meetings to just bring the resolution forward is a sign of people's willingness to get involved at this point, like it was a great sign. It was really encouraging to see the number of community members who came and shared their feedback. It's okay if not everybody has, you know, roses and you know, positive things to say all the time. Like, we want the feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's how we all get better together. So I'm excited for this next phase of the work.
Very good. All right, Arla.
Oh, we're skipping down here.
I'm skipping all the way down there.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm good.
Leanna.
It's so small.
I know.
I know.
Like,
I mean, I watched the meeting from the last meeting, and it was 3 hours long, so somebody had asked a question, and I'm like going back and forth, and I'm like, where was it? Was it in there? And, like, I'm checking it out. But I was not at the last meeting. Lots of some family stuff. But I didn't get to say that I was at the at graduation, and of course the tears and the excitement of watching. I didn't see as many of the kids, students, the young adults walking across the stage that I knew. In years past, I was able to go, oh, I know that kid, you know. And this one was a little bit less. I was really sad I wasn't here. Emily is just. She puts tears in my eyes when I talk to her, because she's just got something, you know, about her that it's exciting. So I'm going to reach out to her, and then be able to reach out to Deanna to say kind of a goodbye. I didn't get to go to that either. So father-in-law went to the hospital. So, but in just the last week or so, I have become aware more than once of how many people do watch our videos, and watch them like as soon as possible, or as they're being filmed, right? It goes out live. I think that's right. Yeah. And I get phone calls more now, you know, I didn't get as many phone calls before, but now there are a lot of questions and a lot of stuff. And I'm really excited about that, because that shows that our community is really, you know, excited about what's going on, what's new, what's, you know, it's like, hold on, you know, Christine's here, give her a minute. But I think us asking people to report their names and who they are, because we have people that have just moved here too. And our acronyms should be spoke out instead of, because people are like, what's this? And I'm like, well, I think I know what it is, but it also doesn't mean that. I come from the federal workforce, so acronyms are life there. And so, but I keep thinking of those things when we come up with something, and I go, wait a minute, can't be that. So I know people in the community have said, you know, asking about it, and I even have to go, wait a minute. And I hear it a lot at our meetings, that we should talk those out more. And in our budget, somebody has asked a few things too, so other things, but putting it out there that, hey, everybody, that we see you. Well, you see us. So.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, for me, first and foremost, thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal to go to one of these, interact, and provide the feedback, but it's so vital for us to hear that and to hear a lot of those things from all the community members. because it really helps, I think, all of us form what we were supposed to do, and like everybody's opinion is where we're gonna go, right? So I'm excited for that. You know, sitting on the bond committee, I've met a lot of folks through there as well that it's kind of same thing. So I'm excited that the Levy Committee is doing that, and I'm excited going forward. So past that, yeah, that's all I have. It's summertime. So with that being said, Leanna, if you want to do the self-assessment.
Oh, I watched the video last time and I was supposed to do it last time, so I thought I totally skipped out on this. I'm going to go quickly and not mark all at once. So this is the general meeting behavior. I think that our agenda was well planned to focus on the real work of the board and kind of a starting, not a race, but the starting point of a new work. And the board followed its agenda, did not allow itself to get sidetracked. Board members prepared for and contributed to the meeting. The meeting proceeded without interruptions and distractions. The board's deliberations and decision-making processes were public. Participation was balanced. All participated, no one dominated. Members listened attentively, avoiding side conversations. Work was conducted in an atmosphere of trust and openness, and meeting participants treated each other with respect and courtesy, and I give that a thumbs up, satisfactory. And then the second part here is governance principles review. And board actions occur at the policy level rather than at the operational level. The board reviews policy about each topic before discussing that issue. In writing additional policies, the board starts with a broad statement and becomes more detailed in a logical and disciplined sequence. We usually mark this at NA, and I want to move that one to the bottom of the list so that if we're not writing it, maybe we don't have to do something with that. I would like that, and we can talk to Jackie about it later and whatever. So that one's an NA, but the board minimizes time spent monitoring past performance. The board routinely dedicates time to reviewing, improving its own process. The board clarifies priorities and values when considering potential outcomes, beneficiaries, and cost of outcomes. The board follows an annual calendar based on a plan for doing its work. The board chair helps the board efficiently conduct its meeting. I didn't do that because it doesn't. The board spends most of its time deliberating issues, defining and clarifying its vision, and linking with the community, as opposed to fixing things. And the board supports the superintendent in any reasonable interpretation of its policies. And with the one NA for writing new policy because we didn't, the rest is a yes, satisfactory, and our overall score is satisfactory tonight.
Very good, thank you. Our next school board meeting will be held on August 26th at 6:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. So thank you very much for attending. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Record time.
Yeah.